What's the difference between expats who thrive professionally and those who struggle abroad? So in my opinion, it's visibility. I am Naina Kaputi. If you're watching this video for the first time, let me introduce myself. I do these walk and talk videos on these trails, and right now I'm in a place called, or on a trail called El Dorado. I'm staying at this Airbnb over here. Unfortunately, my microphone that I used to record these videos stopped working, so my sound may not be as good as it normally is. Plus, I'm trying to figure out this trail, and looks like I just got into the area behind the Airbnb, which is more like just to relax. So it's not really the trail, so I'll have to go down and continue my recording then. But I will be talking about visibility today, so I hope you stick around. So I did find the entrance to the trail, the El Dorado Trail. I believe it's 39 miles. That's my Airbnb over there. So the trail starts right at the entrance of the Airbnb. And again, I apologize for the sound, but this is a good experiment for me to see how it works without an external audio recording. So I'm recording directly on my phone. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me. There are also horses, I guess, on this trail. I have to look out for that, and there's a bike path. Luckily there's no motor vehicles, so it'll be loud enough for you to hear me. So let's go back to visibility. What does it mean? How has it helped me? Again, I didn't know about the existence of the word till I started building my own visibility. I mean, I knew the meaning, but I didn't know. When I say existence, I didn't know how relevant it was, how important it was when you're building a new life and career in another country. So when you're in your own country, people usually know you because you've either grown up with them, you've gone to school with them, you've worked with them. So it's very different. When you come to a new country, you have no identity. Most people don't know who you are. And as a professional woman, a career woman, whether you're an entrepreneur looking to start a business, looking to get a job, maybe even looking to get speaking gigs, starting your podcast, a YouTube channel, writing for blogs, etc., you realize how important it is to get seen, to get known, to get heard, because people don't know who you are, and then you don't get those opportunities. And that's why today I decided to talk about visibility and why it's important, what the definition is. It's not who's the loudest in the room or who is just standing out because they're just kind of talking about themselves but not intentionally. It's really about being intentional with sharing your expertise, with sharing your personal brand, being top of mind when someone is looking to hire you for your expertise or become your clients, buy your courses, buy your coaching services, invite you to speak, etc. I'm sorry, I'm looking on that side because I'm trying to figure out which side is a better view. I think this side is nicer for now, so I'll switch the camera and hopefully the audio is still good. So that's why I think it's so important to be intentional with putting yourself out there. And as expats, I've said before, we really have unique experiences, expertise. Even navigating a new country requires expertise, right? Overcoming challenges, finding a job, etc. All that makes you unique. And then you bring your cultural experiences from your country. So I would encourage you to start thinking about what do you want to be known for? How do you want to be seen? What are your unique skills and expertise? What are your goals? What do you want visibility to bring you? Some cyclists just went by. Luckily, there's enough space for me and the cyclists. There's some trails that I've walked on where it's so narrow, and then even though the pedestrians are given right of way, the cyclists always make you stop and they ride by, which I think is so rude. Anyway, so coming back to visibility, it's very important to realize that it's not bragging. Many of us come from countries where when you start talking about yourself, it's considered rude, it's considered being a show off, it's, you know, a braggart is frowned upon. But I think if you do it intentionally, if you think about the services that you provide, whether it's working for a company or a client, how will they benefit, right? And that's why visibility is so important. Whether you're sharing your visibility in a podcast, on a YouTube video like this, speaking at events, posting content on social media, in blogs, you're sharing your tips, you're sharing your strategies, and that is so important. I'm going to switch around because look how pretty all the vines are out here. So now that we've spoken about the definition of visibility, I also shared a little bit about how you can build your visibility. One is by sharing content on social media platforms like LinkedIn, like YouTube, doing these videos. Another strategy is looking for speaking events. But why is visibility so important? One is it opens the door to new opportunities. The second is it does build your sense of belonging because you are creating impact and influence. So when you're doing that and you are connecting with other people because you're showing your expertise, you're sharing your expertise, you're sharing your skills, it makes you feel like you're part of that community. People start being attracted to what you have to say, what you do, and that builds your sense of belonging no matter where you are. For me, because I've been building my visibility, I've been able to grow the expat woman community. People very often come to my virtual events or in-person events because they know me, and that gives me a great sense of belonging. So I want you to keep that in mind. And also, as I said, it builds you get so many new opportunities when you put yourself out there. Things don't fall in your lap. I remember one expat woman shared how visibility is not important. And I don't agree with her because I think if you just build something, people are not going to come. Especially when you live abroad and no one knows about your existence. You need to put yourself out there, and it's uncomfortable. Building a personal brand, talking about yourself is all uncomfortable. But once you start doing it, it builds your confidence, it gives you clarity. And I've done a bunch of videos on finding clarity, building your personal brand, building your confidence, bold mindset. I'll share links to all those in the description. But opportunities come when you show up intentionally, authentically, as your messy self. Look, I'm recording this video and I don't have the audio, but I decided I'm just going to do it. I'm experimenting, I'm testing, shooting video just with the audio on my phone, walking on a trail I have never been on before, but talking about a topic that I'm passionate about, because part of what I do is helping women build visibility abroad. And this is so interesting because look at this tunnel over here. So I feel when we move abroad, it's like we're going through a tunnel. You know, we're going from the light into the shadow. And as we build our visibility, we move from the shadow through the tunnel into the light again. And then people get to see us. From dimming our light through the challenges and hurdles we face in this new country, we find ourselves, we reinvent ourselves sometimes, and then people get to know us. So that's the power of building your visibility. And how can you build it? So one is build your personal brand. Okay, so now we're out of the tunnel. You can see we're back in the light. That's the tunnel. And now we're in the light. So we've moved from the challenges and hurdles and getting clarity on what we want to be known for, and we're building our personal brand authentically, and people get to know us for who we really are, what we want to be known for, what our goals are, what we want to be hired for. I'm going to actually switch the camera. It's so beautiful. So while I talk, I'm going to show you this beautiful trail, the Dorado Trail. Once you build your personal brand, and that can be a journey, it may not happen overnight. It can take a long time, because personal brand is it's a marathon, not a sprint. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I'm going to stop because I'm going to turn it this way. I don't want to get people in the camera, because there's some people walking on the trail. Okay, so the next thing is, once you build your personal brand, the next step is to put it out there. Find a platform where you're comfortable, where you think your target audience will be. For me, my two platforms are LinkedIn and YouTube. I think those are the most powerful platforms that reach my target audience. They have the most opportunities to build your visibility. They're both searchable on Google. They both provide tons of features to showcase your expertise. You can also write content for blogs yourself, or you can find other people and ask them if you can write content for their blogs. Find podcasts that you can be interviewed on, or YouTube channels. And sometimes you don't have to wait for other people to invite you. You could find or create your own opportunities. Hi, morning. You could create your own opportunities. I could spend time reaching out to people to be on their YouTube channels, or I can create content for my own YouTube channel. And I will, when I have more time, reach out to more people to be on their podcast, because you also want to grow your presence, not just share with your community, but also borrow other people's audiences, spread your light, your expertise, etc. But I just want to say, you can create your own opportunities for visibility, or you can find other people to collaborate with, to partner with, especially if you're just starting off. You can see the lights filtering through the trees. It's so beautiful and quiet. So just like me walking down this trail from the dark tunnel to the light, think about that with your visibility journey. Walk through the darkness into the light, from the shadows into the spotlight. It might seem scary initially. You've got to hush your inner critic, the imposter syndrome, the voice that tells you who are you to put yourself out there. I've also done a couple of videos about imposter syndrome, and I'll share those with you as well. So these are some of the tips and the reasons why you need to build your visibility. Now, let me know in the comments, how are you going to build your visibility? What's one step you're going to take? It can be a very small step. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. I don't want you to feel nervous about it. Start small. Maybe it's commenting on someone's post. Instead of creating your own post on LinkedIn, sharing somebody else's post and sharing your thoughts. Maybe it's inviting someone to collaborate with you to write a piece of content for LinkedIn, to do a YouTube video with. Maybe you just started your YouTube channel. So it can be individually, it can be through collaboration, creating your own opportunities, reaching out to other people to see if you can be on their platforms. It seems daunting, but you can get it done. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, share with an expat woman who you think will be inspired by what I have to say, and keep building that momentum, keep building that visibility. The bridge between who you are now and the person who will have all these opportunities opened up to them comes through visibility. And I actually wanted to add one more bonus tip or strategy. When you're building a visibility, it's also important to build your cultural sensitivity and cultural intelligence, because depending on whether your target audience is local or international, you need to tailor your message, your offers that will be understood and relevant and respectful of that audience. So that's important to also keep in mind. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this walk. I hope the audio wasn't terrible, but just build your visibility. Don't wait for perfection. Sometimes things don't work out. Look, I'm away from my home. I'm in this place called Placerville, and this audio recording stuff that I use when I record my videos isn't working. But I can't go back home because it's 2 hours away. In any case, I don't have a backup audio recording system, so I'm just using my phone, but I'm just doing it. So just take that first small step. Things don't work out, still keep doing it and keep building your visibility. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.